Okay, today we are going to start our topic about trade weighted exchange rate. Trade weighted exchange rate. Basically, previously we were talking about bilateral exchange rate. What do you mean by bilateral exchange rate? The two currencies, they were exchanged with each other. Like we were talking about dollar and rupees. In your exams, rupees will be no more in your question paper. There can be the two currencies, either pound sterling exchanged with euro or with dollars, or sometimes we are having a question about Japanese yen exchanged with dollars. Okay? So these are the four currencies or five currencies which are going to be asked in your exchange rate questions. The thing is that bilateral exchange rate means when two currencies are being exchanged with each other. Is our country only trading in dollars or USA? We are trading with many other countries with other currencies as well. Like if we are buying something from England, then we need to make payment in terms of pound sterling. If we are buying from China, then we need to make payment in terms of Chinese currency. Although they are going to accept the payment in terms of dollars, or at the same time, if we are buying oil from Saudi Arabia, we need to make payment in terms of Saudi Arabia. So how many currencies they are being exchanged with Pakistan rupee in one day? So it depends upon how many trade partners we are having. How many trade partners we are having in our basket of goods. Okay? So if I talk to you that trade weighted exchange rate means what? How much trade is taking place in dollars? How much trade is taking place in euro? How much trade is taking place in pound sterling? So if we are having 50 billion volume of trade, $50 billion volume of trade, out of that how much is traded in dollar and pound sterling and euro? In each currency we are having a basket of currencies and we assign weights. What do you mean by weights? Do you remember when we were talking about retail price index? We assign weights to each commodity according to the proportion of income spent by the consumers on each good. So here we make a basket of currencies and then we assign weights to each currency according to their proportion of trade in our total trade. Like this is trade weighted. Trade weighted. How much is the weightage of each currency in our total trading activities in our basket of currencies? There are two currencies in which we are trading. Like we say, here I am taking dollar and here I take euro. Okay, I say the weights, 90% of trade is taking place in dollars, whereas 10% trade is taking place in euro. Out of 10, 90% of trade is taking place in dollars, whereas 10% trade, I suppose that is taking place in terms of euro. Okay? So this is the proportion of trade, which is taking place in each of the currency in our basket of currencies. You see, when our currency depreciates against dollar, it also depreciates against euro, against pound sterling. Because now we are in the multilateral exchange rate rather than bilateral. Multilateral means there are so many other currencies which are also used to determine the exchange rate with Pakistan rupee. Okay. Now I see exchange rate index. According to index number, if you remember retail price index, we were are talking about if price of one commodity increases, its index will go above 100. So here, if our currency appreciates against dollar, we will write our currency is appreciating by 20% against dollar. It is 120. And if it is depreciating, okay, it will be too much. We should write 10%. Okay, 10% our currency is appreciating against dollar, where 5% it is depreciating against euro. So can I write over here 95 because its value goes below 100. Now, what is weighted exchange rate? Exchange rate index. Now multiply them, same like we were doing in inflation. This is what? 990 and it is 95. How much will be the answer? 1085. Do you remember how much inflation was taking place? We divided this weighted value by the total weight. So trade weighted exchange rate index, trade weighted exchange rate index, that comes sum of weighted exchange rate index, weighted exchange rate index divided by sum of weights. So that will be 1085 divided by 10. So it is 108.5. How much is the difference from 100? If we deduct the base year trade weighted index, which is always given the value of 100, so it is 8.5%. What does it mean? It means our currency has been appreciated against dollar and euro by 8.5%. Because it was here 10%. Here it was 5% depreciating. So overall, our currency has been appreciated by 8.5%. Clear or not? ये MCQs में आता है, उसमें दो करेंसीज का वेट दिया होता है, फिर हमें कहते हैं इसके अगेंस्ट इतना एप्रिशिएट हुआ, इसके अगेंस्ट डेप्रिशिएट हुआ, तो फाइंड द ट्रेड वेटेड वैल्यू. इसलिए मैं सारा एक नंबर के लिए एक नंबर का क्वेश्चन. We need to do it very clearly. How to find it? If they have given you the weights and the two currencies are also given, and then you are asked to find the trade weighted value of the exchange rate, whether it has been appreciated or depreciated. So if its value goes below 100, then what? Our currency is depreciating against all these which are present in our basket of currencies. You can also do the same thing by using another way. Like I say, against dollar it is appreciated by 10%. Here it has depreciated by 5%. How much it is? 90% and minus 5%. What will be the answer? 85%. Divided by the total weight, it will be again 8.5%, which is depreciated. Instead of writing 100, you can use the percentage value. Okay? So trade weighted exchange rate will tell us how much our exchange rate overall appreciated or depreciated against all the basket of currencies which we are having in our trading basket. 90 minus 5? 85. Divided by total weight. 8.5 is the answer. यहाँ पर भी 8.5 आते हैं, यहाँ 100 माइनस का है, यहाँ करने की जरूरत है. क्लियर है ना? क्योंकि इसमें कोई प्रॉब्लम है? So this is how trade weighted exchange rate is determined by the basket of currencies and how much value will be there. You can change this thing. Suppose you say here it is minus 5 and it is 10%, automatically it will go below 100 and its value will be negative. So negative means our exchange rate is depreciating, our currency is depreciating against all our currencies, our basket of currencies, against all those currencies which are present in our basket of trade. Alright? So this is how trade weighted exchange rate is there. How to find the real weighted exchange rate? If we divide this index by the retail price index, तो वो क्या बन जाएगा? Real weighted exchange rate. Like we did in our real weighted exchange rate of bilateral exchange rate. So if we divide by the retail price index of a country, then it will become a real weighted exchange rate. Clear or not? Now come towards the next topic of today. That is, what do you mean by J curve and Marshall-Lerner condition? Very important thing. Usually it comes to our exam in MCQs or in data questions or in section B questions. I am going to arrange it. Clear? What do you see? Which type of exchange rate changes will be beneficial to a country? Do you think depreciation of exchange rate is beneficial or appreciation? What? Appreciation. What do you say? Appreciation. Everyone is saying appreciation. Appreciation means our exchange rate is becoming stronger. Our currency is becoming stronger against foreign currencies. Isn't it? So it will increase its purchasing power within the country. Inflationary pressure will go down. But keep it in mind, when our exchange rate is becoming stronger, residents of our country, they will switch over to imported goods. She is right. Other currency, when it is depreciating, in their currency, our goods will become expensive. Like our currency is appreciating, dollar will be definitely depreciating. So American people, they need to make more dollars payment to us in order to buy our goods. So our exports will become incompetitive. They will not be demanded by the foreigners. Clear? Whereas our residents, they will be switching over to imported goods. So definitely when we will be buying more imported goods, our industry will be declining. We will be facing a decline in our local industry. Clear? So due to decline in local industry, there can be unemployment. So it depends whether our country is having balance of payment surplus or already we are in deficit. If we are already in deficit and our exchange rate has been appreciated, then our deficit will be enlarging according to this phenomenon. Clear? Or if we are having a surplus, then definitely we need to reduce that surplus in order to reach equilibrium position of the balance of payment. But this is not so simple. On the other side of the picture, I want to tell you, the depreciation of exchange rate, sometimes it is beneficial because it will make your exports more competitive in international market. Their demand will rise up and your export revenue will be earned more than your import payments. And definitely your export side of industry will be growing, national income will be growing, unemployment will be falling. And only one disadvantage of depreciation is that the currency will be losing its purchasing power. It can have inflationary pressure within the country. Okay? But on the other side, it is creating more economic growth as well. Now talk about the J curve. What is meant by J curve? And Marshall-Lerner condition. What do you mean by Marshall-Lerner condition? What is this? Like if we say depreciation of exchange rate is taking place, will it help the country to be out of the trade deficit or it is going to increase the trade deficit of the country? It depends upon this condition. What is this condition actually? This condition is that price elasticity of exports plus price elasticity of imports should be both in combined form, they should be greater than 1. If this condition is fulfilled, then the depreciation of exchange rate will help the country to be out of this trade deficit. Clear? So what happens? Okay, now I am going to elaborate this thing. How will it work? Clear? Now I say exchange rate depreciates. Depreciation means what? Depreciates. It means our currency is becoming weaker. Our currency is becoming weaker, then definitely our imports will become expensive, and exports in terms of other currency, they will have low price because they have become stronger in currency. So in their currency, they need to make less units of their currency in order to buy our goods. So our exports competitiveness will increase. ऐसे export prices हम खुद नहीं change कर रहे. Due to their strengthening of exchange rate, dollar is becoming stronger than our currency. So American people need to make less payments, so they will be buying more from us. Now, if this condition is fulfilled, look here. This is export prices. This is export market. If export elasticity is elastic, and in case of elastic demand, we said when price falls, total revenue will increase. Total revenue will increase. So can I say when our exchange rate depreciates, the foreign currencies, they have become stronger. So in their currency, our prices will decrease. So they will buy more of goods. So can I say price of export will fall and total revenue of exports will rise because it is an elastic demand. If imports are also elastic, then increase in price of imported good will decrease the import volume. Okay? So in that case, import expenditure will be declining by more proportion. But I'll say here export elasticity is 1.2, it is 0.5, overall it is 1.7. So now see, suppose we say imports are inelastic, they are inelastic, but this elasticity is far greater than this inelastic demand. So here import prices will rise, price of import is increasing, and total expenditure on imports there will also be increasing because it is inelastic demand. If it would also be elastic one, then a small increase in import prices will reduce the import expenditures by more proportion. But right now I am taking one elastic, another is inelastic. This increase in total revenue, of exports is greater than total expenditure on imports. Then, if this condition is fulfilled, then depreciation of exchange rate will help the country to be out of the deficit. So this can be represented by the J curve. Here I am taking time and here I am taking balance of trade. This is 0 point. First of all, a country is facing a deficit. This deficit is rising what? When we start exporting, our demand elasticity is inelastic because of less substitutes available. Okay? So in that way, depreciation was reducing our export revenue and our country was facing a deficit. So when this deficit is here and our export elasticity has become elastic, for elastic, so at this time, when our currency is depreciating, what is happening? Our export revenue is far greater than our import expenditure. Our country will be coming out of this deficit. If this condition is fulfilled, if this condition is unfulfilled, like both are inelastic, then definitely export revenue will be declining with the price fall and import expenditures are increasing. And if this condition is unfulfilled, then deficit will be further enlarging. इसको क्या कहते हैं? बैकर बाय नेबर पॉलिसी. व्हाट इट इज? आप अपनी करेंसी वीक कर दें, अदर कंट्री की करेंसी स्ट्रॉन्गर हो जाएगी, एंड दे विल बी बाइंग मोर फ्रॉम आवर गुड्स. They will become our backers. Was it? What is the Indian exchange rate with Pakistan rupees? 2.4 rupees of Pakistan are required to buy 1 Indian rupee. Okay? If this product is having 100 rupees price in our currency, okay, so in their currency they have to pay maybe less than 50 rupees because their currency is stronger. Here I am paying 100 rupees to buy the same marker, but if it is exported to India, they need to pay only 30 to 40 rupees to buy us. Their own board marker is having a price of 60 rupees. They will switch over to our goods because their currency is stronger than us. Okay? But once their board marker, which is having 40 rupees price, so it will become more than 100 in our currency because our currency is weaker. We will not be buying their goods because their goods will become high price in our country, our currency is weaker, and our goods will become more competitive in their currencies. So this is called, by keeping the exchange rate lower and lower, you can increase your exports to your neighboring countries and they will become your beggars due to their stronger currencies. If you look at the exchange rate of Japan with dollar, China, so they have kept their currencies at lower level in order to make the whole world their beggars. Beggar by neighbor policy. Clear? So country can boost up the export revenue by depreciating its currencies when this marginal condition is fulfilled. On the other hand, if country is facing balance of trade surplus, like China is facing balance of trade surplus, they want to reduce that surplus. What they have to do? They have to appreciate their currency, and in that case, if this condition is fulfilled, then definitely export revenue will fall due to appreciation of exchange rate and import expenditure will rise, and this can be represented by inverted J curve. Inverted J curve means we were having a surplus over here, so due to appreciation of the exchange rate, imports will become dearer, and that country will be importing more of raw material and capital goods or consumer goods, so their export revenue or import expenditure will be increasing, export revenue will fall, and their country which was facing balance of trade surplus, that can be removed or it can be reduced. Although surplus is not a bad thing, but this is also a disequilibrium condition. Okay, what happens in terms of trade when our exchange rate depreciates? Terms of trade, do you remember? Export price ratio to import price ratio. Okay, I will do it later on. So up till here, this is clear. Any question? That's all for today. I will be doing a little thing for tomorrow if you are having, I think you are not having a class tomorrow. Day after tomorrow, I will be showing, read out the topic terms of trade, then I will be explaining you how exchange rate is affecting the terms of trade. Okay, and what is the difference between balance of trade and terms of trade? Because there was a question, discuss whether depreciation of exchange rate can benefit both balance of trade and terms of trade. If students cannot differentiate between balance of trade and terms of trade, their answer cannot be recognized as the right answer. Okay, that's all for today.